embarrassing. I forgot to click go live. Did any of you hear my introduction? But basically, this is in a town called Twinleaf because references and and could you hear me before I went live? And this is a Wii U Virtual Console copy because I kept selling my physical copies of the game, even though I really want... Actually, I'll tell you about my personal histories in this game, but first, this is Apollo. He moved into my town on the 3rd of July, the day after was his birthday, and now he wants to move out, which is something that's determined randomly, basically. And I want... and I'd like to know if you think he should move out or not. So, as for the history of this town, because you probably couldn't hear it, is that I watched Tamashi Hiroka's video essay about Animal Crossing villagers several times, and it got me back into Animal Crossing, and so I decided to replay Wild World, and I was originally just going to play the town that was previously on there, but it was so overrun with weeds that I decided to put it out of its misery, basically. Fabulous Fish wants to kick out Apollo. And anyway, so I started this at the start of this month. And I'm going to wait until other people decide what should happen to Apollo. Apollo also is in the Animal Crossing movie, which was only released in Japan. And he's currently wearing one of my custom designs. I'll show you it later in the Able Sisters shop. A few days ago, Tank, which was one of my starting villagers, tried to move. Okay, so I guess 2 people so far hate Apollo, and only people from the Fabulous Fishes fanbase server are currently in the chat. Even though I've advertised this on several websites, I've advertised it in free Discord servers and on FilmFiction and on Pillow Fort. Granted, not many people use Pillow Fort, and obviously FilmFiction is a My Little Pony website, so I'm not really sure how many people who follow me would actually be interested in this. So I guess that everyone wants me to get rid of Apollo. Also, my brother made me a Do Not Disturb sign. Actually, it wasn't a Do Not Disturb sign, I just didn't read it properly. So, bye Apollo. You better not forget me, pa! Okay, I'm not gonna... Should I read out the dialogue or not? Because if I kind of... because I kind of want to read out the dialogue in live streams in general, just to kind of have a conversational tone like I'm arguing with the game. But on the other hand, it might drag things out a bit. Also, I'm going to try turning up the gamepad volume a tiny bit, and if the feedback annoys anyone, please let me know. Oh, hi, Depressed Unicorn 444. So, the reason why I was hitting that rock with a shovel, for those of you who aren't really into Animal Crossing, is because every day there is one rock in town will drop bells if you repeatedly hit it, and bells are money. And this is a mini decoid, which is a gyroid, which are items that basically make sounds when placed as furniture in your house. And they're based on Hinawa statues. But it just feels kind of odd, because, what is their place in Animal Crossing? Why did the developers decide, oh, hey, we made this happy, fun, cute game about moving into a village full of talking animals. Let's make burial statues a collectible. And then there's also the fact that, gyroids are sentient, or at least one is anyway. There's a gyroid character who appears in some other games called Lloyd, and there's also the saving gyroid, the gyroids that let you save the game from the original. The original is one of the only 2 flavours Animal Crossing games I haven't played, the other one being Amiibo Festival. And also, I haven't played those DSiWare apps that no one's heard of either. And I think I'll just go around town talking to all the villagers. And there is something I'm going to do at 8 PM because, as you may or may not know, something special happens on Saturdays at 8 PM in Animal Crossing. And this is Rhonda, and she's going to suggest a town tune for me now, so I'm going to turn up the volume on my gamepad. Does it sound annoying, the feedback? Actually, I shouldn't have it all the way up. And by the mother of all coincidences, Rhonda was living in my town on my previous Wild World save file on this virtual console copy. And at the moment, my town tune is the Twin Leaf Town theme from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. And only villagers in their houses will suggest the town tunes, and that's a very big fish, I'm going to catch it. And if you say, and if you approve of them, it will automatically change the town tune. And first of all, I'm going to go to the town hall so you can hear my original town tune. And I'm going to turn down the volume. Well, I can't get rid of Rhonda because she's not offering to move out. You can only make villagers move out if they're already moving out, like they're in their houses and they have boxes. In later games, you can force villagers to move out using amiibos, and in one earlier game as well, which was only released in Japan, called Dobutsu no Mori E+. But this is not any of those games. Wow, the people in the chat really hate my villagers. And also, if you buy enough stuff from the Tom Nook shop, it will eventually expand. And here's a bit of a funny story. My shop expanded on like the third day I played it, even though I read on Wikipedia, which is the Animal Crossing fan wiki, the one that doesn't use Wikia, that I've heard. It says that you have to play the game for 8 days. So either there's something like some sort of weird glitch I've activated, or the wiki is wrong. So anyway, here's my current town tune. What do you think of it? And I'm going to have a quick look in the recycle bin. The way it works is that you can put things that you don't want in there, and if villagers change the furniture in their house, they'll put stuff in there too, and the contents haven't changed at all from yesterday. So I'm just not going to put anything in there or take anything out. Okay, sorry. The chat is really amusing me because the people still want to get rid of all of the characters. Also, there's a funny story. At night, like later into the night than this, Pelly, instead of Pelly at the town hall, there'll be her sister Phyllis, who looks like Pelly, but she's purple and also really moody. And when I was little, I thought that they were the same character, and like, and at night, Pelly just got really miserable, so that's why she turned purple. I mean, as far as I know, the only game where they appear together is like the amiibo-focused spin-off, so that's a conspiracy theory for you. Hire me, MatPat. And also, speaking of which, here's something that's a kind of like weird about Animal Crossing. How did this world come to be? The closest, the most official explanation we've ever gotten is that in the museum in New Horizons, they show, basically they have all of the organisms lined up in like a tree, in like order, and there are lines connecting ones that are related. And at the end they have all the villager species lined up and so that basically means that there's a lot of convergent evolution going on. But like, there's, in New Leaf, there's a character called Gulliver who's in basically every game, who mentions, and in New Leaf specifically, he tells you about real-world trivia about real-world countries. So is this like some sort of alternate version of Earth where there are just anthropomorphic animals coexist with humans or something? I need answers, Nintendo. And you can hear bells right now, that means that the hour's changed. But speaking of the town tune, I'm also going to show you something with this piano. instruments play the town tune and villagers also play the town tune when you talk to them, and Olivia is going to suggest an alternate one, so I'm going to turn up the volume. Also, why am I wearing headphones plugged into my computer when I'm not actually listening to anything on the computer, so I'm going to plug it into my gamepad instead. I should have done that to begin with. So she's gonna speak to me. Wait a minute, she's not suggesting me a town tune. What's up with that? Oh, she can. Oh, so now she's gonna tell me a song. What do you think of that? Because I didn't really like it, to be honest. Can you hear the game audio just fine, by the way? Alright, you can, because I checked earlier that the game audio is working just fine when I unmuted the live thing. I repeat, do you like Olivia's song or not, people in the chat? Because I didn't like it that much because it just sounds like it ends too abruptly. If I select You're Hired, it will become the new town tune for now. And if I select That Won't Do, then it won't become the new town tune. Oh, I can't actually let you hear it again. Actually, I might as well, it was like da 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 da. So which one should I select? I'll keep it then. Okay, so now I'll play this. Now the piano will play the new town tune. I'm gonna guess there's only a predetermined list of town tunes that the villagers can suggest. Yeah, I don't like it that much because it also has those really long, awkward gaps in it. So I'm gonna see who else is at home now. Oh, and also, in this game and Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City, aka City Folk, you can wave at your villagers. And the animation they show depends on how close you are to them. I'm not very close to Rhonda, so that's why she bowed, because this is a Japanese game and that is a greeting in Japan. But if the villager likes you more, they'll wave. And speaking of which, I'm pretty sure the villager considered my best friend in the game is Dottie, who is too close for me to wave at, but not close enough for me to talk to, so I'll talk to her now. Actually, the town tune doesn't sound that bad with Dottie's instrument, because every villager has a unique instrument when you talk to them. And so, well, you can't suggest a hot new song because you're outdoors. Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe she can. It's been a while since I've done this event. And by a while, I mean actual years. Why do you suddenly hate Rhonda, Fabulous Fish? What has she done to you? Also, everyone in this town is wearing one of the default custom designs, and it's really annoying me. This is Rodeo. Until today, he was ill. So let's hear what he suggests. You can't hang up pictures or posters until New Leaf Rodeo. Sorry about that. Okay, so he's not gonna sing a song yet. You have to talk to them several times. Salty or sweet? I'd say sweet. Maybe, but then like sweet food might make me feel sick, and then salty food is like chips and crisps and other stuff that's carbohydrates, which are moderately better for you. And gosh, my room is echoey right now. Oh. Well, lasagna isn't sweet or salty, so what are you even talking about, Rodeo? Also, when Rodeo first moved in, I didn't know who he was, and when a villager moves in, you can see that, actually no, it's not in this game. In this game, when I saw his name on the map, I thought that he was going to be a horse, because my autoclonal friendship is magic has caused me to associate rodeos with horses, even though it does actually make sense for a bull to be named Rodeo. And are you actually going to sing or not, Rodeo? Oh yeah, sometimes villagers will talk about the other villagers' relationships. I'm going to say they're friends because I don't know how a duck would kiss someone. But there's a bit of an oversight is that characters will talk about villagers as if they've always been there, even if they haven't. Like, I've had characters talk about the relationship between villagers when one of them has just moved in. I wonder if selecting Olivia's meant that I can't actually select any more. In this case, I've accidentally screwed myself out. Or maybe there's only a limited number of villagers who have songs. I don't really remember how this works. Let's see, who else is at home? Drake is. And also, here's Tank. He tried moving out a few days ago. And by the mother of all coincidences, on my current New Leaf save file, he was he used to live in my town, but he moved out ages ago. And he doesn't really have anything interesting to say besides talking about live game. Also, I don't actually know why Tank has a leaf on the back of his head. Another villager who has a leaf on the back of her head is Tangy, which is a cat that looks like an orange, but that makes sense in that context. Also, unfortunately, you can't talk to people other than me because this is on Wii U Virtual Console, so I cannot do multiplayer. But anyway, and there's another villager in this town who also currently lives in my current New Leaf town. And also, Drake moved out of my New Leaf town recently. I haven't played it in a few days. And also his house, no matter what game he's in, always just looks like a complete slapdash of elements. I was trying to think of a good way to word that. An explosion in a furniture factory. Okay, now Drake is about to sing. Please listen closely. What was that sound? It sounded like if Donald Duck decided to become a pirate. Wait, Fabulous Fish, are you telling me to hire Drake or Tank? Because I can't hire Tank because he hasn't suggested a town tune. And what do other people think of Drake's song? Wait, are you quoting the Drake and Josh theme, Fabulous Fish? Also, when I was doing my Q&A video, I almost pronounced Fabulous Fish as Gabulous Goatee and had to like retake it. Also, they completely changed how every villager's house is themed. Like in this game, Dottie's house starts out with lots of moon-themed furniture, which makes sense because rabbits are associated with the moon in Japan. But in New Horizons, I've looked this up online. She Her house is just kind of like, just looks like a normal house that a normal person would live in. And on one hand, I do like how cozy all the houses look in New Horizons, but on the other hand, they all just kind of look the same. It'll prove most useful in the impending war. I knew how your name was pronounced, Fabulous Fish. I just had a memory lapse that moment. And I didn't register that Fabulous Fish in the chat was talking about Drake and Josh until Tennybox mentioned it. Like, I didn't make the connection to this Drake and Drake and Josh. So I guess I'll pronounce I'll hire Drake now. And he's going to go gloat to Rhonda. So watch out, Fabulous Fish. And I still haven't found the money rock. And this villager is in my New Leaf Town, and she's not around. I can't find her right now, but I definitely won't be able to hire her because she's not indoors, and I don't know if I've caught this particular stag beetle before. I haven't caught that stag beetle before. So I'm going to donate that to the museum, and I also need to plant these at some point, and I need to find a black patch, preferably near a patch of cosmos. Yeah, I still pronounce Fabulous Fish as Gabulous Goatee in my head, even though I know it's wrong, because old habits die hard. And fun fact, this game was the first time I heard that phrase. And also, another phrase that I learned from this game was, not quite milk, but not quite a milkshake. And I said that to my parents once, and I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. Yeah. I originally got this game for my 7th birthday because I went to a church and there were a couple of people there who had DSs, and that's how I learned about a lot of DS games. Like, there was a boy who had New Super Mario Bros. And there was also a girl who had Animal Crossing Wild World, and I used to watch them play games. And funny story, the boy owns Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, and I briefly watched him play it. I didn't see very much, but I thought it was some weird version of Animal Crossing, because they kind of have similar graphics. It's a dynastic beetle, by the way, not just a stag beetle. It's not even a stag beetle, it's a rhinoceros beetle. Oh my goodness, I'm having a memory lapse. Yeah. Also, something I got New Horizons a few days ago, and at the moment I still only have 2 villages, and the museum is still under construction. But something that bothers me is that in New Leaf they added they allowed you to donate multiple things at once to Blathers, and also Frieja wants to talk to me. It happened many years ago. I was dating a boy, and he said, what would Frieja sound like? And he said this one thing to me. I like you that doesn't belong to anyone. Huh? Were you dating Pascal? What's that about? And there's more where that came from. Want to hear some of it? Sure. Wow, you're being really supportive today. That's so nice of you. Well, here, take this as my way of saying thanks. It's a blue wall. I've already gotten one of these before. In fact, I bought the blue wall for, what's his name? For Rodeo. Originally, he had, like, this orange wall. I think it was the mod wall. Also, for some reason, Fabulous Fish made a comment mentioning Frieja's name, and it was being held for review, and I can only assume that the YouTube automatic word checker mistook it for something else. So now it looks like Ando is upping that comment, but he's actually not. And also need to find a good place to plant this normal sapling. In New Horizons they'd call them hardwood trees, but before that they didn't have an official name. Some people called them what are they called again? Some people call them oak trees, but they don't grow acorns, so 0 out of 10 false advertising. There are acorns in this game though, but only in the autumn. Depressed Unicorn 444, could you describe in more detail what Drake's house in New Horizons looks like, please? And that sound you can hear right now is a honeybee. Oh wait, that sound isn't a honeybee, it's a mosquito. And you can get bitten by mosquitoes, it's just a minor nuisance that temporarily interrupts the game. But still. There it is. It's really tiny on this screen. Also, I do not have screens moving on because it makes the game look really blurry. And speaking of which, Blathers' texture in the original Animal Crossing is one of the blurriest ones I've ever seen. And I know that it was originally a Nintendo 64 game, but he wasn't even in the Nintendo 64 version, so... So I'm going to donate that to the museum and also get him to check a fossil. I don't like collecting fossils because it's basically entirely dependent on random number generation. As in, it's like, you have to talk to Blathers to get them identified if you don't know already, if you're not familiar with Animal Crossing. And I even already have a blue wall. I also keep getting red tiles for some reason. So that's why I sold one earlier, but you couldn't see it because I hadn't gone live. So I'll put the green bed away and I'll have a quick look at what the treasure chest looks like. The reason why I have the house arranged this way is because in this game there's a concept called feng shui, which I used to think was pronounced feng shui because of how it's spelled. I think it's Chinese. And it basically means if you put certain colours of furniture in certain places, it will give you luck. So green items in the south gives you good overall luck. Red items in the east gives you good luck with furniture, and yellow items in the west give you good luck with money. At least in theory, it hasn't had any noticeable effects on me yet. So I'm going to sort out the stuff I'm going to sell and the stuff I'm not going to sell. I usually just sell my gyroids, but I've kept one because I think it will go well with the song that I'm planning to get later. Spoilers. Okay. And Depressed Unicorn 444 described Drake's house in New Horizons to me. It has the log cabin floor, and one side is brown furniture and the other has green furniture. He also has a train set. So have you seen any cosmos around here? Oh wait, I should have gotten my watering can out. I don't know if it's rained earlier on today in game, but it's probably just a normal flower, so it's not a huge loss if it dies. And these are pansies. Oh, and here's a clover. I have a chance of getting a 4-leaf clover. And I haven't got one in this game yet. And also, annoyingly, you can't wear 4-leaf clovers in this game or put them on top of tables. And also, what do you think of my house? I was trying to go for some kind of like Japanese-ish aesthetic because I just got... Because I had the tea vase and then I got the pool. So, and now Tank wants to talk. What is going down? Oh yeah, he calls me H-Town. Originally Dottie came up with this nickname. Sometimes villagers will give you nicknames. They probably sound better in the original Japanese. And I don't... Oh, I already have an exotic rug. Why do people... There is barely any items in this game and I've only realised it on this playthrough. Oh, and I just scared that dynasty beetle away. At least I think it was. Oh, and Rhonda's giving me a quiz now. What kind of films do you think Rhonda would be in? I think she'd be in a romantic comedy. But she is a rhinoceros, and I can't invite villagers to hang over fabulous fish. They have to, like, approach me to ask me about it. Oh. Rhonda thinks she'd be a good action star too. Oh, why do people keep giving me gifts for everything? It's a Chinese shirt, and I'm going to see... Oh, it looks... Oh, and also, Dottie has fleas. You can barely see it. In later games, the fleas make a sound effect, but in this one they don't. And they're only worth, like, 20 bells, and I accidentally talked to her instead. Okay, that was a bit of a strange comment. Oh, come on. I might as well talk to her anyway. Your house is like 10 meters away. Now, I've got to wonder how big is this game? And if I talk to Dottie now, something about it. And also, when she's surprised, her eyes turn brown, and I don't know why. Oh yeah, I forgot to wear my Chinese shirt. It doesn't really suit me. So I think I'll sell that as well. Fabulous Fish doesn't trust any of my villagers. It kind of reminds me of, like, in Sugar Conroy's Let's Play of New Leaf. He had this, like, whole running gag that Shari was creepy, and then someone in the comments came up with this theory that she murdered one of the villagers. And then it turned out that villager was alive, so yay. I kind of want to come up with a story for this town in this Let's Play, like, in this game, villagers have hobbies, which basically means they'll talk about one specific subject a lot. And for some reason, both Frigga and Olivia have the hobby of collecting white furniture at the moment. And I've got to wonder if, like, the fact that they're specifically asking for white furniture is based on the dominant colour of the furniture in their house. Because they have the same personality type, but I don't really think that's it. You feel like, what was Dottie Fabulous Fish? Oh wait, you think Dottie's Shari. Oh, and that also reminds me, someone on Reddit showed a screenshot of a message in the bottle in New Horizons with which was from Shari, because in that game, message in the bottles from specific named villagers who don't live in your town can wash up and give you DIY recipes. And hers said something like, when I was doing what I like doing, which is none of your business. And I hope it doesn't explode. So confirmed, Shari is actually an arsonist. Okay, now Ando is joining in with the whole joke that Dottie is a murderer. I don't know if, how, sometimes on YouTube live streams the chat will appear after, I don't know, sometimes in stream archives on YouTube the chat appears next to the video and sometimes it doesn't, and so I'm not sure if people will actually see the chat replay, so that's why I'm describing the comments that I'm responding to. And also Dottie, Tank and Frigga were my starting villagers. And I considered writing a fan fiction about them, and where they all talk about why they came to live in this small town in the middle of nowhere, and then I just lost my train of thought. Oh, and also, I just donated him a mosquito. Last summer, I kept getting bitten by mosquitoes. Not malaria-carrying ones, obviously, because it's too cold for them to live here. And it was just kind of annoying. Oh! I completed the mammoth already. When you complete a fossil, he'll describe it to you. When you donate anything else to him, he'll also describe it to you, except in New Leaf. And also, fun fact, there's a villager in Animal Crossing, I don't know if he's in this game, called Tucker or something like that, who's a mammoth. Technically an elephant as far as the game's programming into his character model concerned, but he looks like a mammoth. Yeah, like, there's a lot of villagers who look like animals other than the ones they are. Like, there's Flora, an ostrich who looks like a flamingo. And, mammoth blabbermouth. Okay. And And there's also Gladys, another ostrich who looks like a crane, and she was in my original town when I was little. And there's also Savannah, a horse who looks like a zebra, who was also in my original town. And also, here's a funny story. One of the my favourite villager when I was a kid was Bones, and KK Slider, which is a character we'll meet later, was on the back of the box. And I thought when I was little that he was Bones, and then I didn't actually know KK Slider existed until someone told me about him, the girl who I originally learned about this game from, because I was wondering how to get music. Yes, spoiler alert, that's what's happening at 8 PM. I'm going to see if radio has a song now. Depressed Unicorn, I'm sorry to be rude, but I mentioned that you can use 4-leaf clovers as furniture earlier. Oh, and also you get the green feather from donating 10,000 bells to a town called Boondocks, which is something you can do at the Civic Centre on the in the town hall. And also now, and also Fabulous Fish and Ando are now telling me to seduce Blathers. This is a very interesting chat. And is anyone watching this not from Fabulous Fish's fanbase? Just wondering, because I'd like a variety of people in this chat. Tessellating Hexagons, I think, said he might watch, but he doesn't seem to have showed up yet. There was also the first person to comment on this stream was someone who's not in Fabulous Fish's fanbase. And have I walked past this Cosmo patch multiple times? Oh wait, I've already planted them, never mind. I don't remember where, but I did. Or maybe I sold them by accident, I don't remember. Kenneth Kidderminster Slider. You might, I don't know if you already noticed, but, and now Tenny is telling me to seduce Blathers as well. What is this chat? And also, I spent a lot of time imagining myself live streaming every game in the adult timeline with some co-commentators. Oh, and this is a pillbug, or as I always knew them as, a woodlouse, and I haven't caught one yet. So I'm going to catch it now, and I thought it disappeared, but no, it's just really tiny. Oh, I think OBS might have crashed or something, Fabulous Fish. I don't know how to fix that, sorry. This happened to me yesterday when I practiced using OBS. Could anyone here help me? Can you still hear me? But can you still hear me? And do any of you know how to fix OBS? Or should I just do I have to restart it? I don't know how to reset the stream. Will I have to close it and open it again? Oh, and there's only 4 concurrent viewers now. I'm going to restart OBS. It says all streams recordings will be shut down. Okay, I've got an OBS working now. That's a relief, but now oh wait, the time is ticking up on the live stream. I thought it wasn't for a moment, and someone's left. Hello? Oh, it still looks frozen on the preview, but it's working just fine for me on the actual OBS program. So what's up? And now it's gone black on. Okay, it's working now. Can you hear me? And I've gotten 2 viewers back. Oh, hi, Tessellating Hexagons. Okay, should I resume now? Okay. This is a pillbug, but I always knew them as woodlice. Because I think this game was translated by Americans. And here's a funny story. Someone, that's a Pitfall seed, by the way. So, there's once a character in this game mentioned football, so I asked my dad if Nintendo was a British or American company, and then it turned out he told me they were a Japanese company. So I learned something that day. And also my favourite "you caught the thing" description in Animal Crossing is the frog in New Horizons, because it's "I caught a frog," or it's a new neighbour and I have some apologising to do. Okay, how long have you been watching for Tessellating Hexagons? Yeah, I know Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City has a different localisation in both versions of English. Oh, he just mentioned woodlouse. Wait a minute, he says, I think he said... Oh. So there's difference, pillbugs roll up and woodlice don't, now I know. Oh, and also, actually, I can get another pitfall scene. Okay, so basically, Tessellating Hexagons, what you've missed is that the people in the chat really hate Rhonda and Dottie for some reason. And they also want me to seduce Blathers. I don't really know what they're doing. And, oh, and also it's Lardy Day, so that's why the town tune sounds really weird. Should I buy any of these accessories? I've got a schoolgirl sailor outfit, an umbrella that goes with the big dot shirt, which is the default background, the tiger stripe shirt, or maybe it's a hazard cone, the caribou, a shirt that looks like the default house for the default apartment background for a certain personality in Tomodachi Life. One of the outgoing ones, I can't remember what it's called. They do not sell rings here, unfortunately. But I think I'm going to talk to Sable, because if you talk to Sable every day, she'll reveal more and more of her backstory. And yesterday she talked about how her parents died when she was young and she was forced to raise Mabel. Oh, hi there. Hannah, thank you so much for stopping by, as always. But I'd rather you not look too closely at my face today, okay? It's just that, well, I have this whopper of a zit on my nose. No, you don't, unless it's just too small to see. I don't know why, but I get them so easily. Yuck, stupid nose pimples. Maybe that's why, oh gosh, my gamepad's skipping now. Maybe that's why I've always had this bad habit of looking down. Oh, that reminds me, I had a huge one when that picture was taken too. Which picture? They're not pointing at one and they're all really low resolution. What? Really? I'm looking, but I don't see a pimple anywhere. How are you looking? They're like halfway across the room. No, back when you were so small that you've probably forgotten. Ironically, the day before, Father was planning to get a family portrait taken. I got a huge pimple on the tip of my nose and was so self-conscious. I would look into the mirror over and over and wipe it with a wet towel. I thought it would cool it off or something. After a while, Father got mad. It's just a pimple. Leave that thing alone. Beauty is on the inside. He was right, of course, but I was just a kid. I didn't understand the kindness behind those words and just cried and cried. But before I went to bed, Mother whispered to me. She said the photographer could erase the pimple and not to worry because Photoshop apparently existed back when this game was made. Actually, it probably did. But I'm pretty sure these photographs were supposed to look old-timey because they're all sepia. It was just a zit, but it became such a big deal, so silly in retrospect. Still, when he said that, I was so happy I thought I was going to cry. Aww, Mother and Father were such sweethearts, huh? Has Mabel's voice changed already? That's right, Mabel. You and I have that blood running through our veins. Whenever I hear about this phrase, I just think of the Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. We'd better not forget everything that Mother and Father did for us. Speaking of which, I'll be in, what's it called again? In a collab video about the Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. I'll probably record my audio tomorrow because I finished writing my segment of it. It's basically just one section near the end, and I think I forgot to read out that last line, but oh well, it wasn't that interesting. Should I make a custom design here? Oh, and also here's the shirt, the custom design that, what's his name? Apollo was wearing. I made it because villagers will start wearing custom designs on display Able Sisters after a while, and all of these are the default ones except for this one at the ones at the far left and the far right on the bottom row, which are my designs. I want a design. Okay. But anyway, what I was saying about Let's Go to the City is that I was reading the Cutting Floor yesterday, and it turned out there were lots of little localization differences. Not just the title of the game, but also more minor things like how, like in one version of the game, there's a thing called the bell point, but in another version, in the American version, it's called the automatic bell dispenser or something like that. And unfortunately, the colour palettes in this game are very limited, so which one do you I think this one would actually look pretty decent, though. I don't really know if I could draw a good outline of Rhonda's face. But also what bothers me is that in New Horizons, they won't let you use the touchscreen for custom designs, and it's like this in Splatoon 2 as well for drawing Totally Not Miiverse posts. And these were both developed by Nintendo EAD, I think, the same subsidiary of Nintendo. So make of that what you will. I'll draw Rhonda's face first, Fabulous Fish, and then I'll put the her behind it. But I like Rhonda. Okay. Does this look like Rhonda so far? You're a few minutes, not a few minutes, a few seconds behind me, so... Yeah, the only game I really enjoy drawing custom designs in is New Leaf, because you can select colour palettes and you can zoomed in, past tense. And by select colour palettes, I mean you can change colours within a palette. Oops. Yeah, it's kind of finicky though, because I keep touching the wrong things by accident. And also, have you ever tried drawing custom designs with a Wii remote cursor? Yeah, I haven't gotten around to using downloading the Custom Designs app, and also for those of you in the chat who are wondering, it's not a literal phone app, it's not a real phone app, it's an app on the in-game phone. And I haven't got the Custom Designs, partly because it's it's expensive, it's like 5,000 Nook miles, but also because it's really annoying, as I said, it's really annoying to draw without a D-pad, and by D-pad I mean a touchscreen, because I can't words today. As I established earlier, I am a bit tired. So what do you think of this now? No, I meant is that in Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City it is really hard to draw custom designs. Does this look right? Have I got the colours generally right? So what do you think of this design now that it's finished? Oh, no, it has. It looks like it's frozen, but it hasn't. I just was worried it frozen for a moment, so. And I am going to name this. I don't know why Mabel asks you what your driving concept behind the design is, but it doesn't seem to do anything. And now I'm going to put this on the custom design stand. Which one should I replace? Not counting my own ones. I really hope that they'll be able to show the... Oh, Tesla kittens. That's a good theory, but I'm not actually sure. But anyway, I hope that there can be a live chat replay on this, because then otherwise this part wouldn't really make any sense. I think I'm going to replace this plain one here. Chic pattern. Now, Fabulous Fish wants me to draw Blathers. But I don't want to spend too long here. I'm just going to overwrite this design. Wouldn't it be funny if Rhonda started wearing it? Also, I think that the shirt Sable is sewing always appears in the shop the next day. But I'm not entirely sure. Okay. Let's see, what time is it? And I still haven't found the money rock, so... I've got 15 minutes until KK Slider is ready. Have I hit this rock yet? I'm actually not sure, because when I started hitting the rocks, I wasn't streaming by mistake. Why has the chat got an obsession with Blathers? Oh, and also, I would like to keep this channel PG-13, by the way. The chat's getting a bit strange. Oh, why am I hitting rocks again? Okay, sometimes this game starts lagging and I don't know why. I think it's a problem with my Wii U, because once it said it wasn't in range even though it was. I want to check, talk to Rodeo again and see if he has an idea for a song. Wait, that's a scorpion, I think. Those are rare, but they can also hurt you, so be careful. I'm not sure what scorpions are doing here, but... Oh, that's what scorpions can do. Oh, wait, I thought that was the Mario music, but no, it's just an 8-bit version of the music, the sound effect that plays when you get stung by a bee. You can't squash the scorpions in this game, Fabulous Fish. Yeah, the first time I encountered a scorpion and tarantula, actually, they have the same effect. Oh, there's a moth here. Don't know if I've donated one to the museum. Oh, it's gone. Scared it. So what do you think the highlight of the stream has been so far? Because I think it's either the anti-Rhonda pattern or the scorpion. Yeah, oh, they have short phrases to say now. It's like in New Leaf, where during a fishing tourney, all your villagers only talk about fishing if they're outside. Oh, and also when I first played Let's Go to the City, it absolutely blew my mind that there were cliffs in it. But anyway, I wonder how much space this game takes up, because the town is absolutely tiny, but there's also loads of variables to keep track of, like what villagers are living in your town, what what their furniture is, what letters you sent them, what catchphrases they currently have, what nicknames they've given you, their relationship with you, and so on. Okay, so Radio's definitely not going to sing me a song, and I don't really like the town tunes. But anyway, what was I just talking about? Denny Box just said, I really like your commentary, but the disturbing behaviour of Mr. Fish is pretty entertaining too. Also, should I make a constellation because it's because KK Slider is in the museum as well. So we might as well just go here. Okay. Oh, and also, apparently in Happy Home Designer, Celeste says she really likes stargazing because she can't fly. Oh, and I really like the music here, and then they got rid of the constellations in New Leaf, and I wasn't happy about that. And by the way, I just didn't really like New Leaf as much as other people do, because, like, you have to basically you basically have to pay for stuff that was unlocked for free at the beginning of previous games. Like, for example, Celeste runs a gift shop, and you have to pay for that, and you have to pay to be able to meet KK Slider. Fabulous Fish wants me to make a constellation of Blavers, so I will. I don't know why he's so obsessed with Blavers. I think this is the kind of side of himself he only reveals when he's playing Tomodachi Life, doing very strange things. Does this look like Blavers? Oh, that's a bit weird. Does this constellation look like Blavers at all? Oh, and Fabulous Fish just said, I just go into meme mode when I'm commenting in the live stream chat. This constellation will be most visible on August the 28th. Is there anything significant on that date? Yeah. But before I started talking to Rodeo, I was talking about something and then I lost that train of thought and I can't remember what it was. Why? Those stars practically scream Blavers at the top of their lungs. It's just how every constellation is kind of funny. I have 9 minutes before I can talk to KK Slider. Is there anything you want me to do before 8 PM? Oh, and also these bulletin boards show really weird messages. In later games, the bulletin board has birds on it whenever there's a new one, but in this game there isn't. For example, there's someone in this town whose face makes you crave spicy curry. No, I won't tell you who it is. When I was there, so I assumed Pelly was writing all these messages, but the villagers will sometimes like speculate who wrote them, and Apollo guessed that Olivia wrote them. Lunch is at noon. Breakfast is any time. And there's also this like really weird one that that's quite morbid that I can't remember. I wonder if the first thing I wrote on here is on there. Tom Nook wants to be cool. So yeah, these are all the messages from since I started this town, because it's still new. Have I hit this rock yet? I don't think I have. But anyway, after this I'm planning to stream the Wind Waker HD, but I need an extra monitor so that both I and the spectators would actually be able to see the game. Also, when I first got my Wii U, I thought that, like, off-TV, there was, like, some special button that could activate off-TV play for every game, and then it turned out that it's actually different in every game. Like, for example, it took me ages to figure out in the Wind Waker HD it went into gamepad mode by pressing minus. Oh, Dottie's hobby seems to be flowers now, and I know that because she talks about flowers and she's carrying a watering can. I always got it a water can, but that's not correct. Oh, and also here's a fun fact. KK Slider is named after Tota K, is short for Tota KK, and Tota KK is the nickname of Tataka, who's a composer for a lot of Nintendo games, including this one, and Tataka's song is in it. It's called KK Song, but it won't be what I'm requesting today. I have already decided what I'll be requesting, and you've heard it already. Oh, and also the other constellations I've created, there's one which I can't remember the name of, and the one you can see barely in the top right of the top screen is called Cassiopeia. Based on the real constellation Cassiopeia, of course. Also, I don't like how you have to stop in places each time. I wish there was like an option in any Animal Crossing game to like have the clock displayed at all times. There might be in New Horizons because there's an option to have the mini-map displayed at all times. Yeah, and also for some reason I always seem to be friends with rabbit villagers in Animal Crossing, because in my previous save file of Wild World, my best friend was was Bunny, and then when I was in Wild World, one of my favourite villagers was Gabby, but in one of my New Leaf save files, my best friend was Snake, who is a rabbit despite his name. And this is a coffee at the Roost. It does nothing in this game besides give this guy Brewster some new dialogue, but in Let's Go to the City, if you befriend him by drinking coffee while it's still warm for several days in a row, he'll store one of each gyroid for you. I have never done that for myself, because I had no idea it existed until I started reading Wikipedia. And also, I have been reading Wikipedia for so long that I still remember that brief period of time where people called New Leaf Jump Out as a translation of the Japanese title, because an English title still hadn't been announced. And also 2013 really was the year of me anticipating games, because there was Pokemon X and Y, there was A Link Between Worlds, there was Wind Waker HD, and there was New Leaf. Yeah, earlier on in the stream I was just tessellating Hexagons. I was having a discussion about how gyroids are kind of weird, because the idea of sentient burial statues in the happy-go-lucky world of Animal Crossing is just a very strange concept. I was gonna wait at first to get New Horizons for when there was a price drop, but then I just decided to just get it once I had the money. Now, I kind of like how this place has piano music, and there's also a piano in the background. Although, what are the amplifiers for? Because these all seem to be acoustic instruments here. And I just like music here in general. I've got 3 minutes until KK Slider is ready to perform, so I'm going to sit down and talk to people in chat. Yeah, that also reminds me that there are no gyroids in New Horizons, now you mention it. It kind of reminds me of how there are no fossil Pokemon in what's it called again? In Pokemon Sun and there were no fossil Pokemon introduced in Pokemon Sun and Moon, because Hawaii is really volcanic, so it wouldn't preserve fossils very well. And I remember before the game's released, I saw someone hope that there'd be fossils based on the giant ducks that used to live in Hawaii. And they became extinct around the time humans appeared. Also have seen fan art of people drawing like other Nintendo animal characters like Pokemon or some Legend of Zelda characters that weren't already in Animal Crossing New Leaf Welcome Amiibo as Animal Crossing characters. And I kind of like it. And I also saw someone on Twitter, is there a Gordon Ramsay villager to cook Brewster for us? Brewster is a pigeon. I don't think anyone eats those apart from anything else. But, what was I saying? And I also saw someone on Twitter once draw siblings for villagers, because on April Fool's Day in New Leaf, you'll learn how many siblings each villager has. Oh, and here's something interesting. There are at least 2 villagers introduced in Debutsu no Mori E+, called Chrissy and Francine, who were first confirmed to be sisters on the Japanese website for Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City. And they also appear on the cover of the song called KK Bubblegum Together, which isn't in this game, it was introduced in New Leaf. And Tessellating Hexagons and Fabulous Fish are discussing eating pigeons right now in the chat. And I'm kind of glad that this live stream has brought 2 YouTubers I'm on speaking terms with together. And is it just me, or when you're waiting for something, does the last minute always seems like it goes on forever? Oh, and also, sometimes Brewster will say he gives you pigeon milk, and pigeon milk is a real thing. It's what pigeon parents vomit into their babies' mouths. Lovely. And now it's time for KK Slider to play. And if you select not this time, he'll play a random song. And you have to get the name of a song exactly right, or else he'll just play something... as a random song that you won't be able to get, but usually the random song that you can't get becomes an actual obtainable song in the next game. And I said earlier, this was a song I heard earlier, it's KK Gumbo. There's like a breakdown at the end of it that I really like, so that's why I'm requesting it. So I will be quiet and retreat to the chat while you watch KK Slider play and listen, and you can watch the end credits as well. So, I'm going to go back to my house now. Oh, I really like the 8 PM music as well. I might as well talk to Frisia, but she wants to talk to me first, so that makes it easier. Oh my gosh, she gave me a picture. That means you have a really high friendship with a villager. I did not expect it to get my picture, to get a picture from Frisia first. I was expecting Dottie would be the first villager to give me a picture. I guess it's because Frisia has a hobby for white furniture, so I kept like fulfilling it all the time, whereas Dottie hasn't had a hobby where she asks me for things yet. I didn't see what message Ando retracted, and I'm kind of worried about it. Oh, and also I used to have a table here, but then I mailed my table to Tank because he has an exotic table in his house, and I was hoping to get it from him, but I didn't. Also, do you think I should put the green bed in here because I bought one earlier? Also, this is the third exotic lamp I've owned because I gave one to Frisia and then I gave another one to Olivia because they keep asking for white furniture. Yeah, that was just the best part that just played. I think I first heard this song in Happy Home Designer recently. Also, I actually wouldn't mind if there was a sequel to Happy Home Designer because, like, they could kind of, like, have it a bit more, like, objective-based, like, some villagers wanted to have a certain percentage of furniture of a certain colour in their room, and other villagers could, like, want to have one of, like, every essential furniture type, which is, like, a storage unit, a bed, a chair, a table, and a sofa or something like that. And then, like, maybe there could be, like, percentages like that to make it more, like, challenging. And also there's I really like how the furniture looks in, New Horizons as well. But for now, this is the end of the stream. I'll continue to talk for a bit while we're still on the title screen. Oh, and by the way, also when I was this, I assumed that the disembodied voice on the main menu was, a character named Rover who only appears on the contact mode thing. I'll show it to you, obviously I won't be able to use it. And also I never used it as a kid because I didn't know how it worked. Oh, it's raining now. Of course. Although the title screen doesn't always match up with actually playing the game because, like, on the title screen, trees will be less growth, will be in the growth stage they were in the previous day. Oh, it's called contact mode, not tag mode. Oh, I haven't released the remote in a bottle, but basically, this is one of those things where if you selected that option and put your DS in sleep mode and crossed someone else who was also doing the same thing, then you would, be able to swap data with them, and some other games had Proto Street Pass, like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team, for example. And Ando asks, when are we going to see Rhonda getting sacrificed to the Sun God? Depends on who the Sun God is. Also, I considered making the anti-Rhonda flag of the flag for this town, but I didn't want to be too mean, and it's twin. And of course the flag is twin leaves. I don't know if I actually showed it in this live stream because you can only see it by the gates at the top of town. And also, usually in Happy Home Design, it seems like most people try to make like the cutest houses possible because they put like custom designs all over the garden and pink cherry blossoms everywhere. And then on the inside it's just pink furniture. I mean, I like the colour pink, but it just kind of gets samey after a while. And speaking of which, I never liked the Lovely series because the colours are always too glaringly bright, so I like the Cute series that replaced it in New Horizons. Oh, and another thing that's annoying is that unlike in Happy Home Designer, you can't move around wall furniture while you're in the free furniture moving mode in New Horizons. So, this was my first live stream attempt, and I say it's gone pretty well, all things considered. What did you think of this stream? Also, for the entire time, I had a message saying that the video was too low resolution. Did that bother any of you? And also, fun fact, the only amiibos I've ever owned were first a KK Slider card, but then I sold it along with my first copy of New Happy Home Designer. So then I bought another copy a few years later because I regretted selling it, and I got a Resetti card. So, thanks to you, Apollo is moving out, and now I have made a design complaining about Rhonda. And also the town tune sounds like Donald Duck becoming a pirate. Should I end the stream now? Ideal.